The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
We have Mike from Chicago on the line, and he has a question about digestion.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
First of all, I just wanted to say that I love the show. I think it's great programming, and I'm very much of a like mind when it comes to, taking control of your own health and certainly doing your own research.
Oh, that's so great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle. Nico Haan here with my friend Paige Clarke.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome. Happy Friday. It's a beautiful day here in downtown Clearwater.
72 degrees.
72. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, and the sun is shining.
And we have
it's dry.
And we have a nice forecast for the whole week.
Yeah, we do. It's looking good, folks.
I hope you're enjoying the weather where you're at and being healthy. And that's what we're here today to talk to you about.
Yeah.
Nico and I were talking, and what actually is the meaning of primal? It's not a broad context that we use the word. It's meaning just getting down to what's the core things that keep us healthy. It's first. It's the most important.
When I looked
it's the beginning.
When I started doing research on this, I looked at it as what's the original diet we had for many, many years. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's in the paleo thing, but so many people are using paleo. I decided primal was more me.
I kind of agree, and I try to explain to people that paleo is like a subset of primal.
Yeah, maybe so. I
mean, it's a part of.
It's wishy-washy because so many people have their own little definitions of it. I think to us, getting real food is the big thing.
Just eat real food. I like that, like Jamie Oliver said.
Yeah.
Just eat real food.
I think that's a really important, and it's spilling over. And the reason I really wanted to make it lifestyle is because it spills over into our other avenues of our life, not just the eating.
Well, we talk about that: how you breathe, how you move, how you sleep, what you think.
Yeah, how you ground yourself to thinking of ourselves as electric beings that we have. There's more to us than just the flesh and bones, and of course our soul and whatever else we want to name these things. But we know there's connections between people. There's feelings, and these are traveling through different pathways. And so I think it's important to connect to the ground. It's important to connect to other people. Important to connect to your food and the animals that we have. Yeah. And treat everything with respect as far as how we're going to leave this planet. Even if you're there a short time on the planet, but even if you're moving from place to place or going from place to place, throwing trash around, things like that.
It's really about doing the right thing.
Yeah.
For your body and for the earth.
Yeah.
So that's really what it's all about.
Yeah. Folks, the number here is 877-927-6648, and please pick up my Health Signals newsletter, too. When you go to the TFNN site, I've got it displayed here, and you'll see that the easy way to get to see us is through Tiger TV, and on your handheld right here, you can hit it. And of course, right now we're having the Tiger Dollar sale, so you can click on many of these things. If you scroll down even further, you see Living a Primal Lifestyle, which takes us right to the Living Primal Lifestyle site where you can see the latest episodes. This was last week's on here. I also have a couple of weeks, and then the whole archive is on there on YouTube, too. So
and the Ancestral Foundation videos, Nico has embedded those in the website.
Yeah, there's about 40 of them. You can't even find them anymore, all of them.
But how nice to have them all in one place.
Yeah, and I'm going to add, because now we have some other foundations that are coming up. And they're starting to post theirs too. Our Primal Resources here, of course, is where you can get a lot of the stuff that we talk about. Emerald Essentials, product where I get my whey and some of the other things. Paleo on the go, fabulous, fabulous meals. And then the books, and I've even put the Kindle versions on here. So
it's just a great resource at a click away.
Yeah, and I've added some exercise stuff, and then there's some stuff that Amazon wanted me to throw on there. So.
That's great. Well, a lot of the people that ordered, when I did the Fit for Fall flu protocol, many of you ordered the kit, and I hope that you're using that and getting your immune system built up, because that's really what it's about, folks, is that our immune systems were designed to work well.
Yes, they were.
And it's simply kind of going back to the idea that we have bugs, viruses, and stressors on the immune system. So if we can fortify the immune system, we can fight these things off.
And the nice thing is we have so many different kinds of things that we can do that are natural, that are accessible through either spices or different kinds of supplements.
Yeah, so
that really work well, don't they?
Right, exactly. So whether or not you got the Fit for Fall flu protocol, if you still are interested, you can contact me, Paige, at TFNN.com, and I can direct ship that out with instructions. But if that's not what you want to do and you want to get, we found a little a site that had 43 natural alternatives for colds and flu. So maybe this is a time that you could start gathering some of these things, build your own natural pharmacy at home, because the most important thing when a cold or flu strikes is a fast response. And that can help arm the immune system to put up the fight.
So what's some of the first things that I know when I first have an inkling that anything is going on?
Hydrogen peroxide in the ears.
That's one of the first things I do. And if I'm going to take a supplement, I use things like echinacea.
Yeah, and so let's talk about echinacea, because a lot of people, that's probably the first thing you think of for cold and flu, but quite frankly, echinacea is better to use, I call it prophylactically, rather than at the onset. Once the onset has happened, we want to pull in other guys like golden seal, or natural antibiotics like alicidin or olive leaf extract, the vitamin C to help the white blood cells proliferate. But so echinacea helps reduce the incidence and duration of the common cold. However, it is much more effective prior to. So, nice idea.
Yeah, so
go to your store and get an herbal tincture of echinacea. Start doing a dropper.
Just before the season starts.
Right now, that would be a great way.
With kids too. It's really safe with children too.
And probiotics. It's a battle of the fittest. So if we help restore our gut ecology and build the probiotics in our gut and all of our mucous membranes, those good bacteria can help fight off the bad ones.
And when people think about probiotics, a lot of people think, well, you're taking a supplement, but there's a lot of natural foods.
Absolutely. The probiotic fermented beverages are great. Raw sauerkraut is wonderful.
There you go.
I really love kefir, and particularly I love Jordan Rubin's Amasi, which is formulated from the proper type of cow that we don't have the problem, and therefore the lactose is eaten up by the
aren't bugs. A lot of sour things like of course the teas are big now, the kumbachi tea and stuff like that, but there's also like just pickles and things that you normally may not think of. I've seen many soured different things that are stored in like a dill pickle type of thing that can be real helpful in getting some of those bacteria through.
And really, when that goes back to the ancient wisdom, and that's really what I like to apply, is a fusion of ancient wisdom and quantum science to have the best of modern health. And the Ayurvedic science taught us that we needed the different flavors, and there was a science to it. We needed the bitter of bitter herbs. Yeah. Those are healthful. The sour taste,
so
the sweet,
pig's feet
the pungent, the hot.
The pickled pig's feet would be really good.
Not, I can't.
I actually would. That's a real delicacy.
No, have you ever had a pickled?
No, I've never had it. I must say. But I was watching the Zimmer guy. Then he says that's one of the real delicacies of the pig: the snout and the feet.
Oh, all right. Well, let's go into some more palatable things. Okay, so American ginseng. American ginseng is a wonderful herbal tonic, but it's very effective against cold and flu.
One of the best ginsengs in the world is American. It's a native plant to us here.
And it really is very helpful for respiratory symptoms. Elderberry, fabulous for being used as a treatment for both influenza A and B. So
now a lot of these things too, especially these teas, are used wet as compounds on your body that can help joint pain, things like that.
When you said that I just remembered too. Right. I was speaking at a hospital women's heart recovery group this last week, and we were sharing some information, and one of the ladies was talking about the wisdom of her parents and her grandparents, and she's in her 80s, so we're talking about a while back. She said the first thing that her grandmother would do when they started to get sick was wrap them in a sheet, but pile slices of onions around them, and then wrap the sheets around their feet primarily, and then when they'd come up, the onions would be black. So many of you know
the toxins. The
alicidin is the most powerful antibacterial, one of the most powerful on the planet, I should say. Alicidin is the active constituent in onions and garlic. So, guys, when you cut an onion, let's say you're making onions as a garnish, do not re-refrigerate that sliced onion.
Right.
Okay? The onion, you need to eat what you slice, and then the onion, put it in a bowl in a back corner of your room and let it absorb
the stuff from the air.
Yeah, bacteria and viruses that are in the air. But another old wives' tale is, if you can stomach it, is that if you start to get sick, we talk about the hydrogen peroxide, take a couple cloves of garlic, slice them,
Stick 'em in
put
your
some
ears?
olive oil on the bottom of your feet. Put some socks on so that they're down right there at those meridian centers of your feet.
Oh, that's
You'll wake
interesting.
up. You might have a sweat, but you must put the olive oil because the psilocybin can be very burning to the skin. But it's very powerful.
That's also the transportation of the essential ingredients to it. Okay.
And green tea. So green tea, it's very safe and effective because it's a super antioxidant. Vitamin D, we've talked about building up your vitamin D. Vitamin D helps make sure that 300 different enzyme reactions are working at peak performance in your house. So all of you, make sure that your vitamin D's up. How do we like to get vitamin D? We prefer you to get in the sun. If you're up there in New Jersey, New York, Boston.
A little harder this time of year?
A little harder, true. But there might be that occasional sunny day where you could wear a sweatshirt, wear a little hat, and then expose your legs. I mean, I don't know about you, but I can handle a little more cold on my legs, can't you? I can go running in a sweatshirt and have my legs bare.
I wear shorts most of the year. And when it gets cold, I still wear my shorts, but I might have a sweater on.
The other one of these numbers is the homeopathic preparations, and as you all know, the owl flu we have is probably one of the most effective flu prevention or first offense things with the flu on the market. I also like to tell people that many people are deficient in vitamin A. We get our vitamin A from our fatty fishes and like organ meats, and we just don't eat enough of that.
Yes.
Cod liver oil.
Pig's feet.
Okay, yeah, okay. Zinc. You've all heard about zinc lozenges. If you start to feel a scratchy throat coming on, we have a serious deficiency of zinc, and that's why we have hormonal issues, growth issues.
That's good for the flu, too.
So as a first response, zinc, vitamin A, vitamin C, you've heard of zinc lozenges, Zicam. We'd rather see you get the natural mineral and get your body going. Goes on and on. Selenium, the mineral selenium. We often see that when that was part of the Fit for Fall flu protocol, are some drops that included sulfur, selenium, silver, and zinc as minerals that tend to wane when we start to see infectious diseases taking hold. So that was part of the protocol. I want to kind of fortify those protective
and the
minerals.
We lose too because we're really sanitized. So we used to get those things from the natural world, whereas now it's much harder for us to do that. So.
And cranberry juice extract. You all have often heard us talking about using cranberries. Right now, seasonal fruits, if you go in your stores, you're going to see cranberries starting to come into season for the holidays. I say buy them and freeze them and put them in your freezer. Wow, what a wonderful way to add to your smoothie. They're frozen, so they act as the ice.
That makes sense to me.
In your smoothie, and then you're getting those wonderful, healthy, healing sugars in there.
So these are some tips that can help you in the flu season. And we're going to be right back. The number here is 877-927-6648. We're going to talk about the FDA and. We're going
get
to
you up to date on what's happening.
Yeah, keep the trans fat out of our lives, perhaps.
Love it.
Are they fooling us or what? I don't know.
Well, let's see.
We'll be right back, folks. Please take time to pick up a newsletter, Health Signals, and we've got a new one coming out next week, so we'll talk about that a little bit, too. We'll be back in a few minutes. Some coffee.
You've heard Nico Haan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today. You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at directionshares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. It's that time of year again, and our semi-annual Tiger Dollar sale is back. For a limited time only, you can get a 25% bonus on any Tiger Dollar purchase, and included in your purchase, you'll gain access to an exclusive 4-hour live trading event with Tom O'Brien on November 19th called Strategies for Trading ETFs, a live trading event. The only way to gain access to this exclusive 4-hour workshop with Tom O'Brien, which includes live trading, is by purchasing Tiger Dollars as part of this promotion. Tiger Dollars can be used for any TFNN products and never expire, so now is a perfect time to get your 25% bonus. Don't delay, this will be our last Tiger Dollar promotion in 2013, so act today. For all the details and to get your 25% bonus on your Tiger Dollar purchase today while gaining access to Tom O'Brien's exclusive 4-hour online workshop and live trading session specifically on ETFs, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or Tiger TV streams. We say you can.
Now let's go over to the dollar, because the dollar is going to be the generator. It is the generator of basically higher dollar, lower market. And what the dollar has done, and this whole uptrend, folks, has just gone sideways. The way it works, folks, is this.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And welcome back. You're living a Primal Lifestyle with Paige and Nico. And hot off the press from the Huffington Post, the FDA is planning to ban artery clogging trans fats. So let's talk a little bit about the good, the bad, and the ugly in this article. Okay. Washington states heart-clogging trans fats have been slowly disappearing from the grocery aisles and restaurants in the last decade. Now the Food and Drug Administration is finishing the job. And as we looked at this article, I want to really caution all of you to know that we've all been very misled. There was a little loophole for the packaged food companies, and if you read labels. But first of all, folks, what I tell my clients is if you have to read labels, you're buying the wrong food. So
true.
But if you do look at labels, it's very important that you understand this. If at the top of the label it says 0 trans fats, this is the bad. If you then look down into the ingredients and it says hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated oil, you're not getting the truth. There was a little loophole that allowed food manufacturers that so long as the trans fats included were under 1%, so it could be 0.9%, right? Yeah. Then they were able to say 0 trans fats, but that's not true. So there's an oxymoron. If it says 0, and down at the bottom it says partially hydrogenated or hydrogenated, then that is in fact a trans fat-laden food. So that's the bad.
Yeah, I think some of it has to do with, I'm sure the manufacturing process of trans fats are getting better, so they're probably coming up with different ways of using, and when we talk about trans fats, we're really talking about a process that makes these fats into
shelf-stable.
Yeah, kind of shelf-stable, so it'll stick around a long time.
Well, my fear is they're going to find something else that's a food science product to replace it, and then we'll have to wait 20 years to find out what the impact is on human health.
Well, one of the things is soy. They're replacing a lot of it with soy. That's still kind of hydrogenated, I think. soy is.
Right, because a lot of soys, they have phospholipids or soy-based, so we're talking about a fat product.
And the same with the rapeseed, which is the
canola oil.
Canola oil. Of course, they're using peanut oil, which I don't think is a trans fat, but it's a real poor fat. So,
if you're not buying packaged foods, then if you're really trying to eliminate packaged foods from your diets, then you're not going to have that exposure. But you do have the exposure when you go to restaurants, because restaurants are most likely going to use foods that have these trans fats.
Well, everybody who's frying is certainly going to be using some kind of a fat that's really inexpensive, that's probably not real stable once it gets under high heat, and that's really what trans fats are. But there are other ones around. So just
damaged
because it
oils.
may not say trans fat, it may be it's truly a damaged oil. So the oils you should be using are oils that don't need any manipulation.
The coconut oil and the palm kernel oil.
If it's cold pressed,
and the butter,
usually it's pretty good. If it's animal fat, it doesn't have to be pressed; it just has to be cleaned.
Right.
So if we're talking about tallow and about butter and about lard, then we're talking about 3 great fats that have been used. Probably not for 25 years, but before that, that's all that was being used in every industry, fast food or whatever.
I have to make a comment, though.
Yes.
Looking at this this article, it talks about the fact that the FDA has finally realized that perhaps trans fats should not be on their generally recognized as safe list. But we have a quote here. "We want to do it in a way that does not unduly disrupt markets," says Michael Taylor, the FDA's Deputy Commissioner for Foods. Folks, Michael Taylor is who Obama hired as the food czar. He's ex-Monsanto. So, you know who he's looking out for. He's not looking out for you or me. So I'm going to say good, bad, and ugly. This is good news.
Well, the economy has to come first always in front of our health.
Exactly.
So they find something that's poison, we're going to phase it out, folks, but don't think we're going to phase it out really fast because the economy is at stake. And if your health is at stake, then, it's not as important, it seems like. I mean, that's the gist of
and again,
how I feel about it.
we continue to see misinformation. We're reading this article, and as it says, trans fat is widely considered the worst kind for your heart, even worse than saturated fat. Now, again, we continue to see in the press this continued disinformation, this misinformation about what are our healthy foods.
Yeah, because saturated fat is some of the best fat there is. And
it's natural. It's primal. Yeah. It's first.
And
it's the beginning.
And coconut, even coconut oil and palm oil were vilified for many, many years.
Well, that's when they were going to create a market for the canola oil.
Exactly. They didn't want the native people using these. They wanted the canola oil and the other trans fats.
They saw the market opportunity for such a cheap oil because, as you all probably know, canola oil or rapeseed oil, it was named Canola, Canada Oil Company, okay? And it was because bugs don't eat it, so there's no waste. So it's such a tremendously profitable crop. Yeah. It's actually pretty, though, when you see it growing in the fields.
Oh, the seeds itself.
I mean, it's like this big yellow thing, but too bad.
Yeah. Folks, 877-927-6648 is the number, and you can reach Nico or Paige at TFNN.com.
Send us your questions. We're ready for you.
Yep, we are. And Nico at TFNN.com. Pick up my newsletter. In fact, I want to talk about an article that I was in there last week. So when we come back, we'll talk about that. We'll be right back, folks.
Andy Hecht, the host of the Commodities Hour, recently launched his newsletter service, the Technomental Commodity Report, and only 6 weeks in, Andy has already recorded a triple-digit winner. Andy advised his subscribers to purchase a long-term call option at 46 cents on July 11th, and then sent out a special update Friday, August 16th, advising his subscribers to close that position at $1.40. That's a 204% profit in just 5 weeks. The Technomental Commodity Report by Andy Hecht is released each Thursday morning, and right now you can get a month-long free trial to this subscription while locking in the low introductory rate of only $39 a month. Andy Hecht has been a commodities trader for over 3 decades. Let his experience work for you. Sign up for your month-long free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report today at TFNN.com. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Basil Chapman has just announced that he will be hosting a one-day online master trader class. Friday, November 8th, Basil Chapman will teach you the essential fundamentals he uses when trading the market with his Chapman Wave methodology. Included in this full-day online master trader class is 1 month of Basil's daily newsletter service, The Opening Call, a $128 value, as well as a copy of his CD book introducing the Chapman Wave methodology, which usually sells for $249. Join Basil Chapman for this powerful one-day online master trader class Friday, November 8th, which will be archived if you can't attend live, where he'll give you a complete understanding of the Chapman Wave methodology and how to apply it to profitably trade any market in any time frame. For all the details and to reserve your spot while taking advantage of early bird pricing and saving $200 off the regular price, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by BackTech Environmental. For more information, just click the BackTech banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the program, folks. Nico and Paige here on Living a Primal Lifestyle. The number is 866-92. What is the number here?
You took it off the screen. You get a break. We've got this new screen going on.
877-927-6648.
There you go.
Okay. So going to my newsletter, so I've got it up here, and on one of the near pages, Molly Suds. You know, I have been looking for. I've been looking for Molly Suds for a while, and I had never used it, but I did start it last week. I got her little package in.
And how did they work in your laundry?
I'll tell you, the interesting thing is the laundry detergent you use a lot less. One little capsule for a full load, 2 of them, and you just put it right on the clothes.
Doesn't it come in like a little pellet?
No, it doesn't come. Just comes as dry.
Okay.
They have a special stuff for like sports clothes.
No, so Molly Suds is local, isn't it?
No, I think it's in Washington. But regardless, okay. I used it, and it's really good. But the coolest part was these wool balls. They come in sets of 3. You buy 2 sets, and it'll last the whole year in your dryer. Mm-hmm. And it softens your clothes, refreshes them, gets the wrinkles out. And they're just little. They're about the size of a softball. And there's 6 of them, so they go through in your dryer. They're bouncing around in there. And the clothes come out so cool.
Oh,
and,
nice.
What it does, too, it really saves you money because it's... it makes the drying time shorter, maybe about 25 or 30% shorter. Mm. So you're saving a lot of money in fuel just in the drying time. My hour drying time was down to about 40 minutes.
And you guys are probably thinking, here we're talking about laundry soap, but this is kind of what we were getting at.
Yeah.
What we're here to do is to share with you living a primal lifestyle. And, you know, a primal lifestyle involves what you eat, how you move, what you drink, how you sleep, what you're thinking, and your environment. And your environment it greatly impacts your health. As we found out, you know, it's less than 10% of the genes are responsible for dis-ease in your body or environment. Yeah. It's epigenetic. It's your environment. It's what you're doing, all these things. Yeah. And simple things like this, removing your exposure to hundreds of toxic chemicals in your laundry and your clothes that you're wearing up against your skin. This is huge. Yeah. And we want you to know that these little changes are what oftentimes make huge differences in people's health and well-being.
Well, this certainly can, because when you're talking about our modern living, I mean, I see so many different things. Like, you go around the streets and you see the maintenance worker, everybody's spraying weed killers. Everywhere, on their sidewalk cracks, under the freeways, everywhere. And then, of course, now I ran across the soap thing and about these
soap nuts.
Soap nuts.
This is very interesting. So again, from the newsletter, you can read about Molly's Suds. It's a very highly recommended laundry product. Works well. Yeah. Soap nuts have been very popular in people that are following more of a primal or holistic lifestyle for quite some time. But I did not know this, so I want to share this with you. That the soap nuts are actually come from a group of
like berries.
Berries, the soap nut berry in India. It's a natural, organic, hyperallergenic laundry soap, a household cleaner, or body wash, and a shampoo that actually grows on trees. So I like this all-purposing. You know, I have a lot of people that have illnesses, and they're like, oh, I really can't afford to work with you to work on my illness. I'm kind of like, then you see them coming home from Walmart with bags full of chemical. Yeah. They're buying body soaps, body sprays, deodorants.
And
they're buying body lotions, face lotions.
Here when you talk about what some of the qualities of it are.
Yeah, well, this is interesting. In India, and the actual plant is called the Sapindus mucorosi. It has a long traditional history in India for its efficacy, and it's been validated in numerous scientific studies for relieving the symptoms and or to treat, listen to this, guys, cancerous tumors such as lung cancer and melanoma, candida albicans, candidiasis, irritated diaper dermatitis, tinea crucis, skin fungus, vulvovaginal candida, dandruff, eczema, head lice, blah, 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 psoriasis, skin rashes.
It's an endless thing to do with your skin and with your body.
So wouldn't you think this would be a good product to use to get your clothes sanitary with no harmful effects from toxic chemicals? So it's hard to believe that something that has this kind of medicinal, power can actually be used as a natural laundry soap and body cleanser.
And that's what we were talking about earlier. We're so desensitized to all these natural products because we've been inundated with...
We've been marketed to... They're selling us merchandise, guys. They're selling us... I call it the merchandise.
Yeah. So
just like I look in the carts and I see people are spending their money on merchandise. Let's buy real food, real products that help. Yeah. So now you know, soap nuts are from Nepal, India. And,
pretty cool.
And so research it. So make these little changes in your lifestyle. If you
They do make a huge difference when you start just doing one little thing that's a little bit different, and then you start thinking, yeah, this works pretty good. How come I haven't heard of it? That's when I saw this. It took me 5 years of being primal. Now I hear about soap nuts.
That's the fun thing. We're always learning. Every day there's something new.
So in my newsletter, getting back to that, so the next item after that was Primal Exercise. I really want to talk about this because back pain can be eliminated through simple posture training. And this is quite a long article, and it talks about posture training. And the good thing is, and there's nice pictures in here about some traditional people and how they actually bend over at the waist and not from the back. And some... wonderful things that you can do at the end here. There's a bunch of videos, and there's the shoulder roll, whether you're laying down or whether you're sitting up. And these are really important, yet very simple things just to straighten out your posture. And when you become aware of how you're holding yourself, it's really easy to change it. I know a lot of people have back problems. I see it in the dojo. I see it when people come in to ask me about exercise. I can see how they're walking.
And it's tremendously hard to correct unless you're aware of what the what this can actually,
And one of the reasons, there's several reasons for this, but it's because we sit down a lot in chairs, and we don't squat, and we don't get up and down off of the ground 100 times a day like our body is meant to do. We don't go to the bathroom the same way.
Well, speaking of squatting, that's what I was going to say,
Yeah.
When you think about the way we sit at that 90-degree angle and you look at the human anatomy and physiology, folks, it's no wonder that we have issues with constipation, anal fissures.
Yeah, because when you're squatting the right way and you're eliminating, then you're squeezing things out and the canal gets nice and free of material.
You can Google the proper, you can see the proper positioning of the rectum and this kind of a thing. And there's actually a company out there that has like a ledge. It's called squattypotty.com. Yep.
Yes. So you don't have to stand on your toilet.
Well, or you can do, or simply you can actually hop up and put your feet on the seat, and then you're in a squatting position. I've been thinking a lot about this lately. You know,
I see it's slippery. You know.
No, you know, it's kind of but again, we're supposed to learn how to squat and be able to get into that position.
I remember in Holland, when I was a kid, there was several places that still had just a hole in the ground. I mean, the toilet was a normal toilet with the flushing and everything, but it was just a hole in the ground, and you squatted on top of the hole.
Yeah.
And that was probably a very healthy thing to do. It looks odd now because we've been so brainwashed over the years that these things are unnatural. We better do it behind closed doors, folk, and don't go around naked in your house. My
so
goodness.
Speaking of squatting and bathroom and all that stuff, I have to tell you, you know, there's a great Russian researcher who has 2 great books. You might want to jot this down, gutsense.org and fibermenace.com.
Okay.
And he purports that, you know, the introduction of grains and fiber is what has caused this damage that we're seeing and all these gut issues. And he has some very well-spoken points. And maybe we'll feature some of that in next week's
in fact,
newsletter.
you know, I was watching a video last night, and my wife was in had a late meeting, so it gives me a chance to catch up on some of the YouTube stuff. And there was this doctor on there explaining how the wheat that was 10,000 years ago that they started was one species, and then about 1,000 years later there was another species that they came, and these tall grasses were huge, but the seeds were very small, and how through cultivation we started getting larger and larger seeds. But now that we're eating, there's only one wheat that we're eating everywhere in the world, and this is this one strain that was developed by one of the companies like Monsanto. I don't know if it was Monsanto, but one of the earlier.
Yeah, it was actually a creation in an attempt to do something good, but now we find out.
First of all, make the wheat much shorter so it's easier to handle. Make the stalks thicker so that when there's a drought, they won't fade so much. And so this was even done before GMO, and they said that was the biggest harm to the crop, and how they were building in all these different things into the crop for weather purposes, but not for consumption purposes.
See what happens when we decide to play God?
Yeah, and
really
that's exactly what they're
up.
doing. And then now with the GMO, the techniques have gotten better, but now they're using pesticides, and we're using a lot of different things in there. And actually, it wasn't a food staple to begin with. That's the sad part. You know, we've been brainwashed to think that these grains were actually food when they were really never used as food except maybe in emergency situations only.
But I really wanted to throw that out about the gut sense because, you know, we talk about in a primal lifestyle that grains were not something that our primal ancestors enjoyed because they simply had to be moving and looking for food and this kind of a thing. And yet, what do all of our parents, and I know this because some of my family members, what are they told? Eat more fiber, you know, get some fiber, get your healthy carbohydrates,
you want
get some
7
movement.
to 9 servings of this.
No wonder we're constipated and have bowel lining damage, folks, if you really think about it. So I'm going to tell you, I was really impressed with reading, and he gives some creative solutions to help, you know, correct, you know, possibly the damage that could be occurring to your bowel and excretory system, and also to maybe reverse some of the damage that's already been done. And not surprisingly, his diet is high in fats. What he says, it is actually fats that cause the peristalsis. It is healthy fats that help our elimination. So just more fuel for the fire.
Well, that's really what we've done. We've substituted all the good fats with getting rid of all the fats because of the phobia of fat, you know, and saturated fat. But really, basically, if it's low fat, people are going to buy it. So that's the first problem. And what do you substitute it with? Something that's very detrimental to us, mostly some kind of grain.
These grains and fibers that
so we're taking something really good out and putting something really bad in, so it's really a double whack on our system.
And these ferment in the bow, see,
Yeah.
so the grain. So we have to start to understand what's happening. And when you look at that introduction.
Now, he was also in this film, not to interrupt you, but I am interrupting you. The third arrow in that quiver is really what is known now, and it's becoming more and more evident that these products are highly addictive and have opioids and same type of morphine pull that really nicotine and heroin and cocaine, all these highly addictive products have.
So I wonder
and they're
why the
in there.
food companies
Are
think of
using
every
them.
kind of way to
Right.
put these kind of products in products that as we consume and continue to consume creates a
so they're
continual
taking. So let's go
annuity
down the
for
list.
them.
They're taking something that's really good for us out of our diet, putting something really bad in, and then it's also addictive, folks. So you can see the trap that it's. Nobody's real fault out there if you're just going along hum-dum-dum and think I'll eat all this and I think I'll eat that because it's got to be good where it's being advertised for me and it's being told that I'm good. So there, it's not your fault. But then when you get information like this, if you're watching Living a Primal Lifestyle, a lot of these other great shows on healthy living and on paleo and on primal, you're going to find information that says these are not. So now you have the conflict. Do I believe one or the other? Do your own research, and you're going to end up on our side of the fence.
Go to the Ancestral Foundation videos.
Yeah, start
Nico
listening to some of these
has
things.
actually put you up 40 videos. And while we're kind of talking about grains, which fall into that, what is the key protein that's causing a lot of the issues with this? So we're finding out it's not just the gluten protein; it's the fiber itself that is undigestible, creating a bad, ecology in the gut.
Yeah, and we were told for 20 years that fiber is good for us.
I tell you, go read this Russian researcher. I'm sorry.
What is his name?
Oh, don't ask me right now because that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
I can't remember.
I'll look it up.
Go look it up.
Okay.
You can do
You
that.
talk.
But while Nico's doing that, let me tell you all, starting November 11th, the Gluten Summit, theglutensummit.com. Will be going on. Dr. Tom O'Brien of thedoctor.com has gathered 29 of the world's experts and opinion leaders on the topics of gluten-related disorders, nutrition, and healthy living for a series of online interviews taking place for free, November 11th through the 17th. So take a minute, write it down, theglutensummit.com, and take advantage of this free information, and then we could all have some really great conversations.
William Davis?
At the next week. No. So wanted to tell you that. So now you're going to make me go look that up. No, so you're looking up. It's just put in gutsense.org.
Oh, you could easily.
I'm bad about that. I really should be better about knowing the author's name. So it's one of those Russian names, so it's kind of no sense. S-E-N-S-E.
Gut sense.
Okay, so we'll tell you. Go ahead. All right. See? About the author. There you go.
Okay. Biography.
Dr.
Monastersky.
Monastersky.
That's what it is.
Monastersky. Mr. Monastersky, and his first name is Konstantin with a K.
True Russian
Konstantin
name.
Monastersky. So I get a break because I told you.
And she's a girl.
No, that's not her.
That is it?
No.
Oh, and she's a Scorpio, whoever it is. Okay, folks, we'll be right back. 877-927-6648. Don't even have it up, and I remembered it. How about that?
Now I won't ever forget his name.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you subscribed to the Gold Report yet? On Wednesday, August 14th and Thursday, August 15th, Tom O'Brien advised his Gold Report subscribers to close out 6 of their 9 open positions, all winning trades ranging from a 10.69% profit to an incredible 48% profit in just one equity. Tom O'Brien brings an incredible wealth of knowledge and experience to the gold market and the equities within the industry. That's almost 12 years since this powerful newsletter first began. And right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Gold Report by visiting TFNN.com. Make sure you're a subscriber as this volatile gold market makes its way back into positive territory after declining all the way from $1,900 to under $1,200 an ounce in only 2 years. Get your 30-day free trial today by visiting TFNN.com.
With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today. Wouldn't it be great if you could get a red light, green light indicator that gives you signals on 25 different futures contracts? Now you can with Taz Signal Box. This red light, green light market profile system dynamically updates 24 hours a day and provides you with important trend and trade signals on 9 different commodities, 9 different indices, and 8 different currencies. Right now you can receive a 2-week free trial to Taz Signal Box. For all the details and to find out how the Signal Box works, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Nico and Paige here on Living a Primal Lifestyle. That's right. Pick up the newsletter, Health Signals, please. Got some really great articles in there that help you kind of dig through what we're digging through and try to find the truth.
You find some really cool articles.
Oh, thanks. Well, you know, this one was sent to me by Alan, who sends me stuff every now and then.
We love you, Alan.
Yeah, and you know, the great thing about this is really something I really didn't know. You know, I knew what our animals we were being fed, but this is really talking about show cows. So the steer that's at the fair that's getting the prize for looking the, you know, I don't know how they judge these things. But
these farm kids are doing, U.S. farm kids are lavishing shampoos and drugs on their prize cattle. So this kind of goes back to our previous conversation.
Yeah, they're not eating natural. So they're actually giving them drugs, muscle-building drugs.
So really the whole idea is then what happens to these show cattle eventually?
Well, eventually they get sold, and I guess we eat them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean in the conventional marketplace. So again, you know, the chemicals and toxins that our food is eating eventually ends up in us.
Yeah, it's kind of like watching a bodybuilding competition, and most of the people that I know, now there's some natural ones around, but the big competitions with the big muscular people, they're using drugs.
They're using drugs, and they're spraying toxic skin tanning products that don't allow their skin to breathe. I
so
mean,
this is really what's happening in the animal kingdom here. So when you see at the fair all these different shows, and these things become really a sensation around the United States and Canada for sure. And one drug they're talking about is Zilmax. Is a drug that they put in the feed to make their protein source become a huge protein source. Make
them more massive.
So they do have hormones and things in there. So
are you all aware, too, I learned this, that, a healthy cow will live 20 or so years in the wild when it eats grass and eats its own native diet. But cows in captivity, CAFO cows.
4 to 6 years.
If that, right?
Yeah.
So sad.
And one of the people I've been listening to, Dr. Childress, was saying that in order for them to live through their corn experience, these cows need to be really checked, and not just the cows, but pigs and chickens and everything. They need to be checked for all kinds of different diseases, and then they need not only drugs, but they also need growth hormones to allow them to live, so they won't die before they're mature enough to.
So they get their usefulness out of them.
Exactly. So they can live the 4 or 5 or 6 years, so they can come to market. Because otherwise, if they just left them alone and fed them that, they would die. And remember, this is
what's happening?
This is the same food they're feeding us.
Right.
They're trying to feed us.
Their ruminant gut, which was designed to process grasses, is being
torn apart.
With grains and corn, of which they were not designed to eat, and they get big and put on weight and become valuable to the food industry, and then we eat it.
Yeah. Then we eat that stuff.
We've got to put our feet down and understand that we're only going to eat healthy food that ate healthy food.
Yeah. So if we want the grass that the cow eats, instead of going out to eat the grass, which we wouldn't do, we're going to eat the cow. But the ones that eat corn, we don't even want, because we're not going to eat corn anyway.
But we're
not talking about the sweet corn on the side of the road. That's a different animal completely. But a grain-based diet is going to lead to a lifetime of sickness, and it's going to come on nice and slow, so you really don't notice it in the beginning. And that's really what the Food and Drug Administration, when they say the trans fat is going to be, we're the good guys, we're taking that off the market. Well, they've known this stuff has been bad for 40 years.
I suspect they've got something else up their sleeve
that's
manufactured.
Better product coming out.
They should go back to the way, we used to use palm kernel oil and coconut oil in our baked processed goods. They should just go back to using that.
But they want a whole system, a whole economy based around our food, where they can transport out all over the place and not have it local, which is the way we really want it. That's the show. That's it for the show for today, folks. Yep.
Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Be healthy.
Yep. We'll come up with some new stuff next week, and I got a newsletter to put out, so we'll see you then. Have a great day.
Have a great day.
What's the one thing that pulls people back from the breakthrough that they're moving towards? What's the only thing that really stops people from taking action? You and I both know the answer, and sure, we can come up with the reasons why we're not where we want to be, but the only reason that we don't do more with our life is fear. Or if you're an overachiever, call it stress. Simply put, there's something that happened to us in our past that's holding us back from the life we deserve, yet you and I are okay, we're here. So why should we let our past control our future? Exactly. We shouldn't. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN.com, and when it comes to your trading and investing, I can help you overcome your fear of loss. Together, we'll turn weakness into strength with a system I've developed called Mastering Probability. I'll teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. I'll teach you the tools that provide financial freedom. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and begin your journey of mastering probability risk-free. It's time to become a pioneer of your future versus a prisoner of your past.